Good afternoon from AlphaCars. My name is Tom, coming to you from our Northampton location, and today we're going to be taking a look at this 2015 Land Rover LR4. This LR4 is currently showing just over 93,000 original miles, and if you would like to see a high-resolution detailed photo set, please reference the listing at alphacars.com. There, of course, you will also find a free included Carfax report alongside a long list of technical data related to the vehicle's remaining tire and brake life, as well as individual readings from each panel using our paint depth gauge. But today I'll take one in quick condition overview around both the interior and the exterior, and we'll go over some of the more interesting features. So we'll start here first with the exterior. You can find the car finished in this brilliant metallic silver paint scheme. It all presents very nicely, as you can see with that direct sunlight. But let's go really close to the body panels to look for any dinks, dents, or imperfections. Small imperfection there at the leading edge of this fender. Making our way down the side, just little nicks and things throughout the paint, as you might expect with a vehicle of this vintage and mileage. But nothing too out of the ordinary to note here. You can see it all looks pretty nice. A couple of small scratches just there. Looking at these wheels, despite small imperfections around the outer lip, this wheel looks very nice. You can see interior of the wheel finished in a beautiful gloss black, and then the outer face is that machine finish, which looks great with that nice contrast. The silver on those wheels pairs beautifully with some of the silver accents here on the exterior. Brings us here to another wheel in the front in very similar condition, as you can see. Brakes look great behind there, and the tires are in nice shape as well. That brings us here to the front fascia. Starting here on the driver's side, this headlight is in excellent condition. Passenger side, slightly more worn, but hardly a problem there. Only minimal oxidation at the very, very top edge, which is an extremely common thing to find on these vehicles. Looking across the grille, you have that nice gray two-tone with the black and the silver trim just beneath. Bumper cover itself is in very, very good condition. You can see a small scuff there on the black plastic portion, but fortunately that is unpainted plastic, so not too bad there. And that brings us to the passenger side of the vehicle. Another wheel, this one in just about perfect condition. As you can see, no nicks or scratches on the outer edge. Looking here, passing a small scuff above that vent. And then making our way down the side of the vehicle. Similar condition to the driver's side, just minor imperfections throughout. But otherwise it presents very, very nicely. Lastly, another wheel here in the back with only one minor imperfection right around 2 o'clock there. Finally, here at the back of the vehicle, I love the taillight design on the LR4. As you can see, the lenses are in perfect condition, crystal clear, no oxidation, but I love that clear the clear lens with that nice chrome trim and the bright silver lighting. It's a very clean look, and it matches the silver exterior very well. Here on the hatch, you have this hard-mounted ladder here to climb up. Let's say you have a roof tent or just anything mounted to the roof, as this is a utility-based vehicle. That ladder is nice and, of course, is functional. You can see the branded step just there to protect the paint underneath. You can see your LR4 badge as well as your HSE trim level there. And looking below, very basic rear bumper cover, and underneath this cover is where you'll access your towing attachment. So, next up, let's make our way to the interior. Here on the inside, we find a black interior, and this driver's seat is in very good condition. Let's move that seatbelt so you can see the bolster stitching is in great shape. Passenger seat also looks lovely. Only imperfection on the driver's seat is a small bit of wear on the adjustable armrests. So using this knob, you can adjust these armrests to any position, whether it's all the way down there by the seatbelt or all the way up here, about yay high, or of course you can always just fold it up. So let's hop inside. Nice heavy close to the door, and it falls very quiet here in the interior. So wasting no time, I'll fire it up with the key in my pocket using the start-stop button there. Engine comes to life, very smooth, very quiet. As you can see, no strange warning lights to report. It's just telling me to put my seatbelt on, but that is it. So looking here firstly at the dashboard, perfect condition, no strange imperfections to note there. Looking at the steering wheel just ahead of me, lots of controls to note here on the wheel, but all of the ones here on the left, including your shift paddle, look perfect. And same goes for the controls here on the right, including this little hidden control for your heated steering wheel, which is a lovely feature here in New England when it gets quite cold. Looking at your center console area just there, you can see a pretty basic infotainment system, and as I select reverse gear, it displays this nice reverse camera, and then I can bring it right back to the home menu as I put it back in drive, or pardon me, in park. Looking a bit further down the center console, you have your kind of media controls just here, as well as a nice analog clock featured in the center. Climate controls here just beneath, including your heated seats for both front occupants. If you see any of these lights flickering, that's only due to the camera. It's not present to the human eye whatsoever. Looking a bit further down into my center console area, this little panel here controls all of your drive modes. So you can see we're in normal mode, but we can cycle through just about any different terrain condition you may encounter. So we have snow and ice, you know, mud, we have desert and sand. It's all very cool, and it does drastically change the behavior of the vehicle. Using this switch just here, we can adjust the ride height, whether that's the neutral position where we are now, or we could raise it up quite a bit or down quite a bit depending on your conditions, whether it's fitting into a tight parking garage and you need to drop it down those couple inches, or clearing some objects underneath the straddle of the vehicle. You can raise it up a little bit as well. You also have downhill descent as well as auto start stop. We have a couple of power outlets here, and that brings us to our gear selector. Now, I didn't show it, but when you start the vehicle, this center knob rises up out of the dashboard, and it then functions as your gear selector, and of course functions exactly as it should. Electronic parking brake control is just there. Small amount of wear on this trim. I also forgot to mention the small amount of wear on that start stop button. These are both very common places to find such imperfections. We also have cup holders just here, as well as a nice center console storage area. And then just above my head, we have this beautiful sunroof, which can of course open and tilt, but also you can open this mesh cover to reveal a bit more natural light, or put it back for some more shade. So next up, before we make our way to the second and the third row of seats, let's take a quick look under the hood and see what powers the LR4. I'll meet you there. All right, so now we're here under the hood of the LR4, taking a quick look around. You'll see it's relatively covered up here under the hood, but it's all very clean from what we can see. Looking down at these painted portions there and throughout here, it all looks very nice. Your reservoirs are nice and clean and clear. You can see all throughout the back of the engine, all of your lines and things back there look great as well. Now under the cover here, we do have a supercharged V6 power plant, which is producing around 340 horsepower. Let this truck pass. So around 340 horsepower and around 334 or so pound-feet of torque. And when it's paired with the 8-speed automatic gearbox, as we have in this model here, those short gear ratios really make this engine extremely peppy, but also that torque can really pull you through whatever off-roading situation you may find yourself in. And with a vehicle like the LR4, it's expected that you may end up in an off-road situation. So, looking here at the second row of seats, as you can see, condition-wise, they look beautiful here in the back. Now, I have the driver's seat set up in a nice relaxed driving position, as you could see just a moment ago when I was sitting up there, plenty of room. And being 6'4", I will now climb in behind myself. And yes, it is a little tight on knee room. Most of my height is in my legs, so I usually struggle with knee room. And this isn't bad at all. I actually did a road trip in the back of an LR4 with my buddy's family, and I had no problem sitting in the back behind the tall adult driving. Looking just here in the center console, we have climate control vents just there, as well as heated seat controls for both the seat I'm currently in, as well as the far seat on the passenger side. So it's great to have your heated seats as well. Above my head, I have all of my climate control knobs, as well as my dome light, and then yet another beautiful glass panel roof with that retractable shade, which works exactly as it should. I also forgot to mention the climate control vents just in front of me. You can see here a nice view of the front of the cabin as well. Now, hopping out of the second row of seats, I've already deployed the third row of seats. So just with a simple pull of this little lever here, that seat drops away, revealing the third row seats fully deployed. As you can see, the condition is fantastic, very, very nice. And just above the third row passenger's head, we have another very similar glass panel roof, which we love to see. Here on the side, you also have plenty of storage, as well as a nice big window and an armrest. So it's a very nice place to be in the back. You can see these nice deep footwells. It's actually quite a bit of legroom. You can fit some adults here in the back relatively comfortably. And you have cup holders, which we love to see. So, just as easily that seat stows away. Before I drop down the third row of seats, I like to show the minimum storage capacity here. So with one pull on this tailgate, it opens up, leaving this bottom portion in place, and then a button push here drops this down, which I've always loved on these Land Rovers the split tailgate feature here. I think this is a great thing. I've actually found myself sitting on the back of this quite a bit. It's a nice place to be. But taking a quick look, this is your minimum storage capacity here in the back with all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 adults fitted inside the car. So you'll never have less space than this, but let's quickly drop down these seats and then take a look at how much space you will usually have in your LR4. All right, so I've dropped down not only the third row, but also the second row of seats. So you can see just a massive amount of space here in the back of the LR4. It's an extremely deep cargo area with those second row of seats down. And then very easily, just to demonstrate, we can come around here, and just with one hand while I film here, I can push down that tab, pick up that seat, latch it into place, do the same here, and then loop around the other side. And just as easily pick that seat up and it latches nicely into place. So very quickly, let me grab the floor mats so we can show you the condition of those. Be right back. All right, so I quickly grabbed the all-weather floor mats. You can see they're all in perfect condition. We have them for the first and second rows. And this is also your normal storage capacity with the second row of seats in place and the third row of seats retracted down into the floor. So very easily, just lift up that lower portion, make sure it's latched in place properly, and then gently pull down this one, and you're all closed up. So if you have any further questions related to this beautiful LR4, please reference the listing at alphacars.com. There you'll find all of the relevant contact information. Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful rest of your day. We hope to hear from you soon. Thank you from AlphaCars.